Hello. Yes, my hair's done. I have to wear the scarves, although I don't mind wearing the scarves, but it just feels very liberating to have my hair done consistently. So, yes. I wanted to speak on being impeccable with your words. Yes, that title came from the book, The Four Agreements, but I feel like this was something that's been on my mind and heart because I had trouble being consistent. And now I'm seeing the importance of being consistent. So, like, your no has to mean no, and your yes has to mean yes. For instance, my communication skills have improved. Like, someone asks me a question, I answer it directly. I don't go around or whatnot. I say I'm not comfortable answering that. I'll get back to you. If I know ahead of time that I can't commit to something, I say either maybe or I give that person advance notice. I don't do the last minute notice like I used to. And I feel like with that happened in the last few weeks, it's been like, it's helped me a lot. Because now it's like, I feel like things are falling into place. Not only that, my organization skills have improved. I've started using my calendar. My second book is approved to be published. The first book didn't work out, so I'm going to have to put that on hold. But I feel like everything is in line, and I feel like it has something to do with me being impeccable with my word. Like, I set standards for myself. When I'm doing business with someone, or I'm setting up appointments, or even like doing a project, especially when it has like money involved. Like, I want to do another project, which would entail me being committed to that project for like 9 months, and there is compensation involved. But the thing is, with money involved, I notice that people are not always upfront, and you have to ask questions, and then you have to get clarity on things. So before, I would be afraid to like say like, yeah, I'm not doing this, or no, I don't feel comfortable, and I'll just go with the flow. No, I don't do that. So yeah, things are starting to fall into place. Also, with relationship with the opposite gender, yes, I've learned to put my foot down, and this is a cause for a celebration. Because before, when I meet a guy, I would be so afraid that I would lose him, so I would do what he says. But now I don't care. Like, I had one guy, he was like a few years younger than me. He was like, oh, you dress in different colors, like, why you don't dress like this, that, and the third. I'm like, if you can't accept me for who I am, then leave me alone. And that's because I finally have confidence. Before, and usually you could tell when somebody has low self-esteem, because people know who to say negative comments to and who not to. Like, people know, unless you're just reckless at the mouth and just don't have any barriers. But usually people would think before they speak with certain people. But now that when I say, oh, well, you can leave. And once you start giving people ultimatums, they're like, oh, yeah, she seems confident, or somebody not to play with. And once that person walks out of my life, some of them come back. Well, will I let them back? No, but like, some of them will come back. And even with my children, prime example, my oldest son, I had to set boundaries. Now he knows and is suffering some consequences that I'm not going to be there to bail you out. Like, you do stuff and you get in trouble, that's on you. I said it before, I am not no ride or die mom. I'm not no ride or die chick. I don't do the bailing people out. What I could do is be a listening ear. If I have money, I could give you some. But once I see that you're begging me for stuff more than twice and you're not generous also, you be left by the wayside. And even now, there's certain people I used to talk to and I don't talk to anymore because it's like you outgrown each other and it's okay. But this is why people don't need to be afraid to say what they want and how they feel. If you feel like something is not working out for you, then you let someone know and whatnot. But you don't have to argue. You say what you stand firm on your word, and that's that. If you want to compromise, fine. I love compromising because I feel like in life we have to compromise anyway. You can't always get what you want. You have to compromise, especially if you're at a job and you have co-workers. You have to work as a team. So you can't really get away from compromising. But I don't know, I noticed that some people feel like it's their way or no way, and life don't work that way. Yes, but just be mindful that you have to be impeccable with your word. If you're going to do something, do it. It's okay to change your mind. Don't let anybody think that it's not okay to change your mind. You could change your mind because things happen. And sometimes we're so quick to give an answer that after we sit down and reevaluate our thoughts, we'd be like, maybe that's not the best decision and maybe I should not do that. And that's okay. But just make sure when you do that, you give people advance notice if you can. Because I feel like before I was like, well, I'm not obligated to give anybody advance notice. But then when I see that people cancel out on me or are not impeccable with their word, I kind of feel some type of way. So now I see the importance of why it's not good to not be respectful of other people's time, and also be impeccable with your words. Like, you have to mean what you say. That's why the Bible says promise is a comfort to a fool, because nothing is guaranteed in life. You can say something, you can wish for something, you can hope for something, but nothing is guaranteed. So that's why we have to be mindful and probably use maybe, or you'll get back to them, but things dealing with a contract, or things dealing with money or business deals, or even like with a job and your employer wants you to commit and whatnot. Just be mindful that if you know you can't commit to those, just be honest and be firm. Don't let anybody intimidate you. And that's another thing. I know that, when people use the word narcissism and manipulation, I didn't even know that a lot of people have those traits. Yes, those people are out there. Try to stay far from them people if possible. And if you can't, find ways to be confident when you say something and you mean it, because people could know when you don't have confidence in your words, and that's when they'll try to manipulate you. Don't let nobody manipulate you. And just make sure that you don't have to be disrespectful, but you could play those mind games that they play too. Okay, but you don't have to argue. And eventually, if you can, you remove yourself from that situation, job, or your surroundings, because no one needs to feel threatened or feel like they don't have a voice. Everyone is entitled to how they feel, if it's being respectful or you're not harming anybody. But just be mindful that words matter, and time is something we can't get back. And when you say something, know that you can't take it back, and people are counting on you to show up and be committed. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. Be committed. Be impeccable with your word. It does matter. And just hold yourself accountable. if you cannot follow through with a commitment or a project and whatnot. But never let anybody intimidate you, and just make sure that you build the confidence to be impeccable at your work. Because it took me years and whatnot, but due to experience, sometimes you have to go through experience to know how life works, how to navigate through life and whatnot. And sometimes we can avoid those obstacles if we would have just took heed to certain things. But yes, but I would recommend for those, if you haven't, read the four agreements, because being impeccable to your word does matter, and it does make a difference. So yes, thank you for listening.